Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video on the channel. So in this video, we're going to be discussing a family that's tied together not through blood, but through their processor. Each and every single one of these products has the M4 processor in it, the M4 chip in it, and yes, that M4 chip, which has the highest single core CPU performance of any regular M chip from the past. And we're going to be discussing how do I use these products on a daily basis? How do they fit into my workflow? And just how do I use them in my life? We're going to be getting into each of these products in this video, so stay tuned, stay until the end to hear about all of these products. And without further ado, let's get into the first one. So guys, the first member of this M4 family is the newest addition. It is the M4 MacBook Air. As you can see, it's on the desk here. Let me pick it up and show it to you guys. It is the M4 MacBook Air, which I absolutely adore. This product is so nice. It's slim, it's light, it's premium, and it's just a pleasure to use, honestly. So what do I use it for? The M4 MacBook Air has become my travel laptop. It has become the laptop which I take with me, I'll take on holiday, or I'll take with me to a cafe and work from a cafe. I use it basically to plan these videos. So I use it for basically writing, for typing these videos up, either a script or some notes, doing some research and listening to music maybe at the same time, listening to music and also surfing the web, checking my work schedule, answering emails, just general things like that. So I'm not doing any heavy lifting with this MacBook Air. I'm not really doing much video editing, although I know it can handle that. This model I have is the base model with 256 gigabytes of SSD and 16 gigabytes of unified memory, and it has a 10 core CPU and an 8 core GPU. So it doesn't have that full 10 core CPU, 10 core GPU. It actually is the bin version of this M4 chip, but it still can handle video editing, especially on a software which is well optimized for Mac. So for example, Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve. My preference is DaVinci Resolve, and I do my video editing on that. So this machine would have no problem handling video editing on DaVinci Resolve. It is very well optimized for Mac, for Apple Silicon. So yeah, I know it can handle that if I need it to do some video editing, maybe on the go. But generally, I use my Mac Mini, which you can also see on the desk. I use that for video editing just because it's a stable setup at my desk, and generally I do my editing for these YouTube videos at my desk normally, not on the go. And the Mac Mini has that fan. Anyway, I'll come to the Mac Mini later on anyway. So let's focus on the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air has become, a really, really great part of my ecosystem, and I think, it's a great choice for maybe students. It's a great choice for people who just have a general use for a laptop. People who maybe aren't doing video editing, although it can handle that, like I mentioned, if you use well optimized software. But if you're a general user, and I think even pro users now can use the MacBook Air, it's become that fast, it's become that powerful, that even power users, people who have maybe YouTube channels, people who are doing a bit more power intensive tasks, maybe people who are doing even 3D design work, people who are doing running Xcode and things like that, they can, quite comfortably use the MacBook Air up to a certain extent. Obviously, there are certain users which who need that extra power of the Pro chip or the Max chip, which you can only find in the MacBook Pros or the M4 Pro Mac Mini or the Mac Studio. So there are users who actually need that, but I think for the majority of people, I'd say probably about 90% of the population would be quite happy with the MacBook Air. And just check it out, guys. It's so slim. It's so light. I can hold it with one hand, no problems whatsoever. And it's just really, really a premium device and a solid device to use, in my opinion. So that's what I use it for: scripting these videos, writing out these videos, and generally just surfing the web, doing research, and answering emails. I think the M4 MacBook Air, it comes in that lovely new sky blue color, which I have, and I would recommend to a lot of people. It doesn't pick up a lot of fingerprints. It's quite good in that sense. And generally, I think it is probably the best laptop you can buy out there in terms of, if you look at the value it brings, the value for money, the premiumness. I've just made up my own word there, by the way, guys. The premiumness which you get with this MacBook, the typing experience, the trackpad, just everything. The screen is absolutely brilliant as well, and also, so the speakers are pretty decent too, even though they're not as good as the MacBook Pro, but still they're plenty enough, and for my use they're plenty enough. So the first device in my workflow in this M4 family is the M4 MacBook Air, and it is a great device, and it is a device which I would recommend to a lot of you guys out there, as it's just a pleasure to use. So let's now move on to the second device in my M4 family. So guys, the second member in this M4 family is the M4 Mac Mini, which you can see on the desk. It's right there. Just take a look, guys. It's working away. I don't want to disturb it. I didn't want to pull any cables out or anything, because as you can see, it's working hard, very hard, to keep this YouTube channel running. Bruh. Anyway, guys, the M4 Mac Mini, it's arguably the most important piece in my M4 family. It's the device which keeps this YouTube channel running. As I mentioned, I do all my video editing on this M4 Mac Mini, and it has the 10 core, it has the full version of the M4 chip, the 10 core CPU, 10 core GPU, and it has a fan as well, which really helps with my video editing. And if I'm using software which is not as well optimized, sometimes I have to use Shortcut for certain features, and that's not very well optimized for Mac, even though they do make a version for Mac. And so when I use that, I need the fans to kick in and to cool the device down. And the M4 MacBook Air is a great device, but it doesn't have a fan in it. It doesn't even have one fan in it, whereas the Mac Mini has a fan, and it helps me to cool the device down. And generally, I've realized the importance of having a desktop computer. I honestly, I thought a few years ago that the desktop computer was a thing of the past, and everyone should have a laptop and work from a laptop. But since having this Mac Mini, I've realized just how important having a stable desk setup where you have a desktop computer there which doesn't move, how important that is. Because having a desk where you come to, where you work from, and it's just dedicated to work, is so important, and it does help your work as well. Just coming down and having that environment where it's just a working environment. And the Mac Mini is just tiny. It's so good to have on any desk. It really is a pleasure to use, just like the MacBook Air is. These devices have become so good, so light and thin, and the Mac Mini is the device which I use the most out of all of them. The Mac Mini is the device I use for, as I mentioned, video editing, surfing the web, doing research for these videos when I'm at my desk. I play music from it as well. I have my peripherals attached to it. I have my speakers attached to it. I have my keyboard, mouse, and my monitor obviously as well, my 24-inch Dell monitor. And it is a pleasure using this monitor along with this setup to actually edit my videos, just because it's a bigger screen. It's just a more smoother workflow for me to work from. So the Mac Mini I have is the base model with 256 gigabytes of SSD and 16 gigabytes of unified memory. I was thinking about going for the Pro model when I was gonna purchase this, and I actually tested the Pro model as well. I've tested the Pro model of the Mac Mini. I've tested the M4 Mac Studio, and to be honest with you, for what I use it for, this is absolutely fine. This is perfect for it. It's actually quieter than the M4 Pro Mac Mini. The fan is quieter in this compared to that, and I prefer having this over a Mac Studio on my desk, just because my desk here isn't absolutely massive, and it's just nicer having the M4 Mac Mini on it compared to the Mac Studio. That was taking up a lot of space on my desk, and it was a bit of an eyesore really. So I actually prefer having the Mac Mini on my desk. And it does everything I need it to do, honestly. It's fast enough for video editing with DaVinci Resolve. That's my editing software of choice. And honestly, I recommend this to a lot of you guys out there who are maybe looking for a device where you can edit videos on, you can use as a general computer. For $599, it offers incredible value for money, and without me sounding like a salesman for Apple, I'm just a general user. I'm a user who makes YouTube videos. So I'm one of you guys really who are just a general user of a computer, maybe, who are doing some pro work as well. And for me, it suits me really well. And it is a device which I would recommend to a lot of you guys out there, especially if you have a keyboard, mouse and a monitor already. Then the Mac Mini makes a lot of sense. And just the general power it offers, the compactness, I've made another word there, compactness it offers on your desk. It's absolutely brilliant in my opinion, and it has been absolutely great to use, a superb device to use, and I can't recommend it enough. So the Mac Mini is the second device in my M4 family, and it's arguably the most important device in this family. So guys, let's move on to the third and final member of this M4 family. So guys, the last device in this M4 family is, I've had to pull from over there because it had my notes for this video on it. It is the iPad Pro M4. And I've got it in that space black color. Let me take it out of the case. I keep it in this Apple Smart Folio case here. I've got it in that space black color here, which I really like. And yeah, this actually is the most expensive piece in this M4 family. I picked this up for £1,000 here in the UK when it first came out. I think it came out in May of 2024. So I've had it over a year now. And it was the first M4 device. It was the first device that had the M4 chip in it. And honestly, I've got mixed thoughts about this. I mean, I've really enjoyed using it. I only use it for content consumption. I've got to say that. But I use it now for making these videos as well. But out of all these devices, I use this the least, if I can get my English right. And basically, what I regret about it is that it costs so much, but I use it so less compared to the other devices. But honestly, if I had to buy this again, I probably would buy it again, just because I use it in the channel. I review cases for it sometimes as well. So I kind of need this iPad Pro for that, in that sense. But for me, generally, I use it for content consumption, and I don't have any high-level use. It's pretty much overkill for me. The M4 chip in this is overkill for me, because I'm not doing any video editing on it. I'm not actually making full use of that M4 chip. I'm just watching shows on it. I'm watching sports on it. So I'm not actually taking full use of that M4 chip. So that's one regret I have about it, is that I don't actually need that much power. I'll probably be absolutely fine with an iPad Air or an iPad Mini. But having said that, it's great to have that tandem OLED screen. I think that was a big selling point. That was a big point which I thought I'd pick this iPad Pro up for. So it has been great in that sense, and it has got future proofing because of that tandem OLED screen. This is the technology of the future. It's probably going to come out in the MacBooks in the future as well. And so with this iPad Pro, I probably don't need to upgrade it for another 4 to 5 years at least. So in that sense, it was expensive picking it up, but in the long run, if you're planning to keep your iPad, some people keep the iPads for 10 years. So if you're planning to do that, then you are probably going to get your full money's worth if you're using it for that lengthy period. So the iPad Pro is the third member in my workflow, and it's the member which I use the least, as I mentioned. And that's crazy to think about because it's much more expensive compared to the other devices. I think I got the MacBook Air for £929, and with that you get the keyboard, you get the trackpad, you get the screen, everything as a package included together, and you get Mac OS very importantly as well. With the Mac Mini, you don't actually get any peripherals with it, but for $599, that's incredible value for money for what you're getting. With the iPad Pro, all you're getting is the screen, and obviously it is a tandem OLED screen and is a touchscreen as well. So it's something which you're going to have to decide for yourself. Is it worth that extra cost? Because it is quite expensive for an iPad. For an iPad, paying £1,000 at least, and that's for the 11-inch model. If you go for the 13-inch model, you're paying even more for that. You're paying something like £1,200, £1,300 for an iPad. So you've got to weigh it up and see where you're getting better value for money. Would that be in a MacBook Air, or would that be in an iPad Air maybe as well? So the iPad Pro, as I mentioned, I've got mixed thoughts on it. I regret it in some ways because I'm not making full use of that M4 chip. I'm not doing any crazy things with this iPad. I'm not taking full advantage of that M4 processor. However, it is cool to have that tandem OLED screen, that 120 Hz, and it is great for watching content on your iPad. So mixed thoughts on it, but overall I don't regret buying it. I think it still is a great part of this M4 family, and it has that future proofing as I mentioned as well. So that is the third and final member of this M4 family. And guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found maybe a device in here which you may find helpful in your ecosystem. Out of all these devices, I think the device which I would recommend is the M4 MacBook Air. I think it's the best of both worlds. You can watch content on it. It's portable like the iPad Pro, but also you can put it in a laptop stand. I'll bring one in actually. I want to show you one. This is the human-centric vertical laptop stand, and you can actually put your M4 MacBook Air in this and have it as a sort of a desktop setup for your MacBook Air. So it's a great alternative that if you want to actually purchase just one of these devices out of all three of them, I would actually recommend the M4 MacBook Air, because you can have it as a desktop and as a portable device as well, and you can watch content on it as well. So if you had to choose one device, if I had to choose one device out of all three of these and I could only have one device, it would probably be the M4 MacBook Air. So guys, I'm going to leave it on this note. I hope you found this video helpful and maybe enjoyable as well. If you did, drop it a like. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Do you have any of these devices? Which is your favorite device out of all of these? And I'd really love to hear from you guys. So yeah guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.